So a while ago I played this old racing game, and when I say old, I mean old because this game came out before I did. Now going into this, I was not completely new to the NFS games. As a kid, I had played this once. I didn't complete it, but I played it. And also these. So I am pretty familiar with Need for Speed. And for some reason, I went back and decided to play this 20-year-old racing game from start to finish. And it was.
So what's it gonna be?
It was awesome. I don't know how, but this game still holds up all these years later. And I ended up liking it so much that after I finished it, I was like. So I looked it up, and the next game was NFS Carbon, which is a direct sequel to Most Wanted. And even after finishing that, well, finally, because of its extremely positive reception, I played Need for Speed Underground 2, which came out before the two other ones I just mentioned. So here we are. Now, because this is actually a very popular topic for debate in the Need for Speed community, I will now compare these two games to see which is better. Even though Most Wanted came out a year later, it looks exactly like Underground 2 on a basic fidelity level. So this can be subjective because both games have different aesthetics. Most Wanted has these cracked, littered streets and this entire glum look to it, which is very fitting for the vibe the game goes for. Like you see Rockport and you know this is a hub for illegal street racing. While Underground 2 is set in the night. There are neon lights scattered everywhere, other racers are roaming the streets, and it is just a vibe to drive in the open world. For their time, these games look amazing because this is how a different game from this time looked like. But now they do show their age. Also, did I not mention that this winter? Yeah, Most Wanted had this very Y2K yellow tint over the game, which is basically a face filter as a name calls it. So for this category, each game gets 1 point. It's a draw. Before playing the games, I thought they would be just a copy paste with the same gameplay but a different skin. But that doesn't seem like the case. I initially thought this because both of these games were released in a time frame of roughly 1 year, so only 1 year for the development of each game, and by the same studio, Blackbox. Even then, both of these games were made from the ground up, so they play quite differently. Most Wanted feels more grounded and fast, very fast, and this game is more about again going fast in a straight line, so drifting is almost non-existent. Whereas Underground 2 is more floaty, slower, not slow, but slower than this. So overall, you have more control over your car. And the drift physics, they don't just exist, they are amazing. The problem is, I can't really decide which is better. On paper, you would think that Underground 2 has better gameplay because you have more control. But no, Most Wanted gameplay is extremely fun as well, which is what matters. So I can't pick one over the other. I guess this is also a draw then. Mm, Maybe next round. Straight up, I'm going to say Underground 2 wins this round. The customization in this game is unreal, especially for its time. You can change the speakers inside your trunk. Why? My favorite part of the customization are the car specialities. You can put RGB lights on car. And all of this isn't there in Most Wanted. The neon lights are missing, the cool spray patterns, the pearls in paint, they are missing. I mean, they could have just used the customization of Underground 2 in this game, but they didn't. So customization is overall lacking here. Just look at this car I made in Most Wanted. Now look at my cars in Underground 2. You get the point. Okay, so Underground 2 is ahead now. Let's see if this changes. So this is stupid because police don't even exist in Underground 2. So Most Wanted gets the point by default because it actually has police. But I would actually like to talk about the police here. The game is called Most Wanted for a reason. And I don't think any game, and I mean any game that I have played in my life, has done cop chases better than here. Like when you get to heat level 3, well, good luck. Why am I even stretching this? Let's first talk about the SFX, as both games have very good SFX because they are almost identical. For reference, here's a side by side comparison. So for both games, sound effects get a big thumbs up. Very nice sound effects. But that is not what I want to talk about. What I actually want to talk about is the soundtrack. And if you've heard the soundtrack, I am talking one of the best soundtrack in all of video games, and that goes for both of them. I think music is very important for a racing game to be good. I mean, you need the vibes, right? By the way, here are my favorite songs. And as for which game gets the point for the soundtrack, I prefer Most Wanted's, but you can't go wrong with either. Now it's time for the final comparison. To be honest, these games are not about the stories. They don't really matter. I mean, does a racing game need a story? Whatever story these games do have are told through cutscenes, and about that, both games have very few cutscenes, and both the games tackle those few cutscenes very uniquely and unlike other games. Underground 2 has these comic panels or comic strips, and they are pretty cool, but Most Wanted does something unheard of, real life cutscenes, and yes, this is in the game. Now, are they cringe?
Yes.
My 60-footer, quarter mile, whatever you want to throw on the table, smokes anything here, including this pump gas kit car.
Well, then where's your punk money then?
5 grand. 5 grand. Says my boy'll smoke this clown.
What's your boy have to do with this?
But are they fun? Also, yes, big yes, their acting is so bad, it is actually.
It's over, Razor.
It ain't over until I say it's over.
And of course, Sergeant Cross, my favorite.
Oh man, did you pick the wrong street to run on? This is a nice car. Nice pinstripe.
You can clearly see how much fun he had doing his role.
I want every single unit after the guy.
Everyone?
Now remember how I just said the stories for these games don't really matter? Well, I kind of like. Unlike Underground 2, which doesn't really have an actual story,
You can't do that! We have a deal! Look, just give me one more chance. I can take it.
Most Wanted unironically has a great story. Basically, this guy steals your car and now you have to get to the blacklist to take back what's yours. It is really fun, and the story also has a plot twist and stuff, so you can guess who's ahead. The final score is 5-4 and the winner is Need for Speed Carbon. You should have paid more attention. I mentioned it in the start. So let me just briefly tell you about this. Basically, if Most Wanted and Underground 2 would have had a child together, what you would get is Need for Speed Carbon. It has the customization, aesthetics, and the vibes of Underground 2. It's set in night again, more tuner cars, and a drifting mode which is even better than the one in Underground 2. Then, this game has the gameplay of Most Wanted, with drifting, but it feels more like Most Wanted's handling system, and it has the same police as Most Wanted. Also, live action cutscenes are back.
I'm the monkey!
Sit down! How you been?
The only place where Carbon is not good at is the soundtrack. Now, don't get me wrong, this is good music,
No love for swear. There ain't no peace, there ain't no justice.
but unlike here, I don't particularly remember any songs from this game. But the graphics are significantly better. So overall, Carbon has the better parts of both these games. And it also introduces some of its own stuff, like the crew system, which basically allows you to have a partner with you in the race. And the boss fights are downhill drift races, which is exactly what happened in this movie. Is it a coincidence that both of them came out the same year? By the way, on an unrelated note, this is my favorite Fast and Furious. Maybe not the best, but my favorite. Okay, back to Need for Speed. Now seriously, my pick for the best Need for Speed from what I've seen, heard and played is Most Wanted. Even though Carbon is an improvement to Most Wanted in many ways, for me it wasn't really as memorable as Most Wanted. Same goes for Underground 2. I don't think it left as big of a mark as Most Wanted did for me. Now I could keep on talking about these games for a couple hours, but I think this is a good time to end this here. Now still every game here, even despite looking very similar to each other, are completely different experiences, and if you are interested you can play any of them. I think they still hold up pretty good. One more thing, if you disagree with my opinion in this video or think otherwise, please leave a comment. I would love to read it. So there it is. By the way, it took me a long time to make this video, and again I would really appreciate if you took your time to write a comment, and maybe see you in another video.